The class assignments are out for the Cleveland Public School students tonight, and there are hundreds of parents who feel that they have been betrayed.
Near West Siders tonight demanding more police. Akron firefighters sue the city, and Cleveland seniors fight to stay in their own homes.
I'm Ed Miller in Japan. On my exclusive extra tonight, we'll take a look at some of the secrets behind Japan's booming auto industry and why that's important to you. That story and more as Action 3 News joins you next.
From Ohio's best news team, this is Action 3 News.
Good evening, everyone. We are standing outside the Cleveland Board of Education building tonight. There has been a flurry of activity inside because there are so many parents this evening who are surprised and angered. Parents who had been told that their children were going to go to elementary schools in their own neighborhoods this fall and now are learning that they are going to be bused across town. The Cleveland School Desegregation Information Board has been flooded with more than 1,500 calls from parents who want to know why the school board changed its plans. Two of those parents are Ann Pfeiffer and Laney Kramer, and they attended special meetings this past year. And what were you told then?
We were told that our kids would stay on this side, west side, 1st through 3rd grade, and that 4th through 6th they would be bused, and that they would be going to Clark Elementary.
And Laney, now you find out you're going where?
They're going to, what's the name?
Joseph F. Landis on Hampton Avenue.
And you feel as though you were lied to?
Yeah, we were lied to. It's a betrayal. Because they told us one thing, and now we find out 2 weeks before school starts that we're going to a different place that we never even heard of.
School officials say that the changes were necessary because of that new court-approved desegregation plan, and also because 18 schools were closed because of declining enrollment or to fit in with the desegregation plan. Mona?
Well, it's not desegregation, but police protection that has members of the Near West Neighbors and Action community group angry tonight. Both Mayor Voinovich and Police Chief William Hanton agreed that more protection is needed for the Near West Side area, but the pair told the group the city doesn't have enough money. The mayor and chief did promise to study the group's concerns and to do what they could in getting more police there. And on the east side tonight, concerned citizens too. Senior citizens are afraid that a government program might force them out of their homes. But Action 3's Tom Barris says they'll fight to stay here.
Pearl Morgan's lived in her Hawthorne Avenue home 50 years. The neighborhood's not what it used to be, though. There are vacant lots and lots of rundown houses. Still, Pearl likes it and wants to stay.
To me, it's home because I know everybody around here.
Tonight, more than 50 senior citizens confronted spokesmen for the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency saying just that. We like it here, we don't want to move. We want you to stop something called the Regional Housing Mobility Program, a program telling people about low-income housing in the suburbs. But these folks think it's a plot to force them out so developers can move in. They don't like it.
The black peoples of Cleveland, Ohio do not want their plans, what they got to do to move black peoples out into the suburbs. Go back and bring us a report, and then we will accept your proposals.
The men from Nowaka said they'll tell the federal government these people want to stay here, but these people want the mobility program stopped, period. Tom Barris, Action 3 News.
People in Painesville Township have been trying to force some dangerous occupants out of their community, and tonight they do have a promise that Exxon will be getting out 40 railroad cars filled with poisonous and flammable liquids within the next 2 weeks. They were set afire on Labor Day, and it took 12 hours to quell the flames then, and that is the danger now for the next 2 weeks. Not that they're going to explode, but that vandals might set them off, and so people in Painesville Township and Fairport Harbor are guarding them very closely tonight and will be till they leave. Former Akron Judge James Barbuto is in jail in Columbus tonight in a surprising move. Barbuto turned himself in to begin serving his 1 to 10 years for gross sexual imposition, dereliction of duty, and intimidation of deputies. Barbuto is still appealing his sentence, but he felt that he could not find a job in the meantime, couldn't support himself, and so even though he is not admitting guilt, he has decided to go to jail and start getting it over with.
Akron firefighters tonight have decided to sue the city if it doesn't soon comply with an arbitrator's decision. Action 3's Kevin Coakley is live at a fire station on Broadway. And Kevin, we'll ask you, what's the feeling there tonight after this decision was made?
Homeowner, there is relief, even jubilation at fire stations all across the city tonight. Firefighters this evening decided to go to court, unanimously decided to file suit if the city doesn't agree to an arbitrator's award, calling for either more pay or fewer hours. The timing of the court suit has been left up to negotiators to decide.
I think we're all together on this matter completely. We've all decided, I think, the best route to go is to court right now and force the city into following binding arbitration.
You think it's necessary to go to court now?
I know it is.
Positive of it. Negotiators feel the suit could be filed as early as next week if the city doesn't come through. But whether the suit is filed next week or the week after, a suit now looks inevitable. Kevin Coakley, Action 3 News, reporting live from the Akron Bureau's minicam at Akron's #1 firehouse. Mona?
Okay, Kevin, faced with this ultimatum, what do you think the city's going to do?
It's really hard to say. They seem pretty inflexible, but we're going to have to wait till tomorrow, Mona, I think, to find out what their response is.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Of course, we're live every single night, 6 and 11 from the city of Akron. Some presidential campaigning in Akron early today as Secretary of Transportation Neil Goldsmith in the Rubber City to open the new Carter campaign office there said the Democrats will have to work twice as hard this fall because both Reagan and Anderson are running against the president. Goldsmith also said that if Carter is elected, he will try to stop the flood of foreign goods into the United States, which have caused numerous layoffs in the Akron-Canton area. In Cleveland, the running mate of the Republican trying to keep Jimmy Carter from being reelected accused the president of taking the low road in the campaign by misstating Reagan's positions and suggesting that Reagan is a racist.
But neither is there just cause or reason for the charge of racism to be irresponsibly raised by a president of the United States in a national campaign. Mr. Carter's charge flies in the face of Governor Reagan's known record.
George Bush also attacked the president for refusing to debate both of his challengers, Reagan and Anderson.
And in world news tonight, Paraguay assassination has put an end to the life of former Nicaraguan dictator Somoza, a violent and bloody end when his body was riddled by machine gun bullets. A half-dozen men armed with bazookas and machine guns blasted Somoza's car in the capital city today, killing him and his driver. Vienna. The OPEC oil ministers have pretty much agreed not to agree on several major issues, but at the end of the meeting today, Saudi Arabia agreed to raise its price only enough to affect American home heating oil and gas prices slightly. The Saudi minister said his country would keep on producing an extra 1 million gallons of crude a day in spite of the current glut. And in Washington, a good word for Billy Carter from National Security Advisor Brzezinski. He said today the president's brother's help in arranging a meeting with Libya might have saved the lives of the 52 hostages by showing the Iranian militants that not even the most radical Middle East nation supported their move.
This may be the best news of the night. The Cleveland Press may be sold within the month, perhaps as soon as 2 weeks. That is what press editor Herb Camm is saying tonight. The editor says that negotiations with newspaper unions are going very well, and he expects that the much-talked-about new owner, industrialist Joe Cole, would also add a new Sunday edition. Tonight's speech to the local chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists was the very first time that any timetable has been announced in connection with the proposed sale of the Cleveland Press, and I think that that will come as good news to many of our friends.
Certainly will.
Stay with us. Al says that you will suffer only until the weekend.
The Japanese, what's their secret to quality cars?
While the new 1981 cars are just now coming into the showrooms, the big three automakers are already developing even smaller models to try to challenge that Japanese lead. And Action 3's Ed Miller tonight is going to take us inside several Japanese auto plants to learn some of the lessons behind Japan's secret weapon.
Most Japanese auto plants almost hum with efficiency. They're clean, pleasant, and happy places to work.
One of the first things you notice inside a Japanese auto plant is the spirit of the workers. Part of it, of course, is a cultural difference, but there's no disputing the fact that each of these men approaches his job with a great deal of enthusiasm. And that's because management feels that each of these men is critically important to the success of each of these cars.
That's why almost all Japanese auto plants give workers the button. By pushing a button, any worker can stop the whole line if he sees a defect.
Are workers encouraged to stop the line if they see trouble?
Yes, of course.
Mitsubishi's company slogan of always chasing quality could almost be said about all of Japan's industry. Quality is sort of a national goal.
By doing an excellent job, then he can secure his daily lives. That's why he likes the job.
Who are these men who may be building your car and who may have stolen your job, whether it be in the steel, rubber, auto business, or any of the sister industries suffering so badly from the flood of Japanese imports? In this case, his name is Katsu Komori, a college graduate, and yet he works on the line. He may move up if he wants to, but regardless of his job, even if he sweeps the floor, he does it with pride. He may play volleyball with his Q-Circle friends at the company gym, but when they talk, even off the job, they'll discuss how to do their work better, faster, and easier.
He banged the side of the car with the battery when he was putting it inside, right?
This car was put on display outside the Subaru plant, complete with diagrams to show workers how a mistake was made and how it can be avoided.
He was peeling back the rubber, and that's where the mark is. He scraped the paint, right?
You're wrong if you think Subaru put on this little act just for us. The Japanese are very fussy about their car's appearance. You seldom see scratches, dents, broken fenders, or rust on any of the cars in the streets. That's because all cars are frequently inspected for safety by the government, and junkers just don't pass. For the most part, it also takes longer for a Japanese car to turn into a junker. Even the top brass at General Motors admit the Japanese know how to fit the pieces together, especially trim, paint, and putting parts together so they just don't rattle. And it's done by dedicated men. You could call them kamikaze car makers, because their attack on our economy has been nothing less than devastating. Ed Miller, Action 3 News, Japan.
Tomorrow in Japan's Secret Weapon, we'll look at what success in industry has meant for the Japanese lifestyle. You know, you were right, Al Roker, about that cold front. I mean, it is chilling out there. It's chilling in here.
You just keep it up, and we're going to press the button.
And stop the weather. No, that doesn't work that way, because even if you stop my forecast, the cool weather's still going to come. And it's going to be with us for at least another 24 hours, but then we're going to get a little bit warmer. But with all this cool weather, what the hey? Let's talk about freezing weather, okay? When we're talking about freezes, these are the average freeze dates here in our area. For example, Cleveland, November 2nd, that's when you can expect the temperature to hit 32. Mansfield, October 6th. Painesville, November 4th. Sandusky, October 29th. Nice stuff, huh? Well, let's take a look at what we got today as far as our statistics. The high, 67. Our overnight low, 53. Air quality, moderate. The early morning thunderstorms dumped 0.2 of an inch of rain. Right now, our temperature, 56 degrees Fahrenheit. The barometer is rising. Northerly winds at 7, and the humidity at 76%. These are temperatures now around Ohio, and you can see where the clearing has started in the northwestern corner of the state, whereas everybody else has temperatures into the upper to mid-50s. Toledo, clear skies and 44 degrees. Let's see if there's any precipitation in the area now. With AccuTrack, our color radar from the National Weather Service, we have some ground clutter, but that's about it. Cloudy skies, and those clouds will start to move out a little bit as this high pressure area starts to build its way into our region tonight. Now, we will see a gradual clearing. Along the lake, the temperature will only drop down to around 52 to 54 degrees, but away from the lake, when you get away from the warming influences of the lake waters, we'll only see temperatures drop down to about 48, so a little chilly tonight. Then tomorrow, as that high pressure drifts right over us, we'll see partly sunny skies. However, this warm front will swing up this way, bringing in milder weather. However, we will see some scattered showers tomorrow night. Tomorrow's temperature will only get its way up to about 67 degrees. Then we will see some sunshine Friday morning. However, this cool front will swing in. Again, more showers, but not to worry. Another high pressure area will come to the rescue just in time for the weekend. Let's check our forecast now for northeastern Ohio. Tonight, cloudy skies, breezy and cool. Along the lake, 54. Away from the lake, 48. Tomorrow, cloudy and some sunshine. Then a few spotty showers developing, a high 67. Overnight low of 47. Our Lake Erie water temperature down 1 to 72. Northeasterly winds 6 to 12 knots. Waves 2 to 4 feet. And here's the next 5 days. After the showers tomorrow, we'll have some showers in the evening on Friday, a high of 70. Then the weekend looks pretty good with partly sunny skies. Temperatures reaching up to 75. It'll cloud up by Monday again with a high of around 75 degrees. But the way it looks now, for the next 5 days, those fabulous 80s have gone bye-bye.
Okay, spotty showers. I don't think I've ever seen
You get those
spots.
on your lapel sometime. You got to take them to the cleaner.
Okay.
It is a quality report, we
Yeah.
should say.
Next, we have 2 new brownies tonight that we want you to meet.
And we're proud of Massillon. They have the Boy of the Year. The Boys Club Boy of the Year Award brings pride to Massillon tonight. One of its own young men, 17-year-old Jace Smith, was so honored in Washington today by President Carter. Jace won out over about 1 million other Boys Club members from all over the country. After the ceremony in the Oval Office, Jace got a warm congratulatory handshake from Mr. Carter himself.
And Jace, we congratulate you too. The Browns lost 42-0 preseason at Kansas City. This Sunday, we're favored by 4.
That's all?
That's
true.
all.
That's not bad. Hey, let's hope it's about 15. Anyway, the Indians tonight, we'll get to them in just a moment. The Browns we will. But first of all, the Indians nearly blew a 5-1 lead. They came back in the 11th inning tonight, beat Boston 6-5. Pinch hitter Gary Alexander's single was the key hit. The Indians took a 2-1 lead here in the 4th inning on a wild throw by Carlton Fisk. Then Alan Bannister lined this drive to left field. Jim Rice shied away from it. It went to the wall for a triple. Toby Harris scored 3-1. Miguel Delaney copped his 54th steal earlier. Drilled this pitch off the bag for a double that scored Bannister and Brohammer. It made it 5-1. Looked like a lock as big Len Barker was mowing them down en route to what would be his 19th victory, we thought. But the Sox pushed 2 across in the 7th on Gary Hancock's double and this Glenn Huffman single to make it 5-3 Tribe. Then in the disastrous 9th inning, reliever Victor Cruz walked Hancock, and Dwight Evans here sent the game into extra innings with this blueprint Fenway Park home run into the screen, his 14th, that tied it at 5-all. But in the 11th, with 2 on, pinch hitter Gary Alexander lined a single over second baseman Chico Walker's head. Scored pinch runner Jerry Dubzinski for the 6-5 victory. How sweet it was. On the scoreboard now, the Yankees are trailing Toronto 5-3 as they play now in the 10th inning. That score just in. There's a rain delay there, so it's 5-3 Toronto. Baltimore, on the other hand, defeated Baltimore 9-3 and are 5.5 back at the moment. Could be 5 if the Yankees lose. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 3-2 in the first, no score in the second. The big news in Kansas City as the Royals knocked off California 5-0 to clinch the Western Division title. Dennis Leonard won his 19th, and George Brett is playing finally in the second game with California leading 4-1. And Oakland leading Texas 6-1 in the 7th inning. No report yet, Seattle and Chicago. National League, the Reds blanked Houston, fading Houston 7-0. Knight a grand slam and Soto a 4-hitter. And New York defeated Montreal tonight 5-2 to cut their lead to a game and a half because the Phillies beat Pittsburgh 5-4 and 11 on Del Unser's single. St. Louis beat Chicago this afternoon 8-5. And 2 important games, San Diego at L.A. and Atlanta at San Francisco. Well, the Kansas City Royals, as we mentioned, wrap up the American League Western Division title tonight, and here's a look at how they did it.
The Royals iced it by scoring twice in the 5th after a walk to Willie Aikens on a base hit by John Wathan. Frank White stroked this RBI single to make it a 4-0 contest. Pinch hitter Clint Hurdle then added a base hit. Wathan comes around to score, and the Royals are on top 5-0. Meanwhile, Leonard was breezing to his 19th victory of the season and his 12th win of the last 14 games. He struck out 9 and walked just 2. At one point, Dennis retired 16 straight Angels. This is the final out. Leonard on a 3-2 pitch cut down Jason Thompson swinging. Leonard has now defeated California 7 straight times. For the Royals, it's their 4th Western Division championship in the last 5 years.
Well, Major League owner opposition to the sale of the Chicago White Sox to Youngstown businessman Edward DeBartolo may be ending. DeBartolo went before league owners in Chicago today. He said he came away encouraged. Earlier today, owners unanimously approved the sale of the Oakland A's to owners of a clothing firm who will keep the team in Oakland. Cleveland Browns, with the loss of Lawrence Johnson for at least a month with fractured shoulder, have signed free agent veteran safety Autry Beeman, who was recently dropped by Seattle. Beeman is a 6-year veteran, and he'll obviously get a chance to play.
After that long trip, I'm kind of trying to make it through this practice, and I did make it. It's over now, and I've got a lot to learn. Got to learn a new system, and I got to learn it pretty fast, which I'll be able to handle.
Well, with the release of second-round draft pick Cleveland Crosby yesterday, the Browns signed Jerry Wilkinson, who will wear number 70. He got work today. Wilkinson dropped by the Rams is 6'9", 260, and will get plenty of action.
At Oregon State, you know, we had to face a lot of adversity because we had a poor record. And I'm not saying the Browns have a poor record, but, you know, they got off to a slow start, and, you know, they got to pick up things right now.
So the winless Browns, who face Kansas City Sunday, are also becoming the patchwork Browns to an extent. Muhammad Ali takes on Larry Holmes October 2nd for the WBC heavyweight crown. Ali has been sparring with a young Cleveland boxer to help him get into shape, and Action 3's Scott Clark has a report.
Cleveland, Ohio's Jeff Stoudemire. Well, he's gone about as far as he can go as an amateur boxer. He's a national AAU champion, national Golden Glove champion as a middleweight, and now he's going to start fighting as a pro. And he's going to start right here in Cleveland.
The 22-year-old East High School graduate just returned from Las Vegas, where he's been the primary sparring partner for Muhammad Ali.
Yes, it was a great incentive. It inspired me in many ways, as far as physically and mentally.
He's been boxing since he was 12 years old. Trainer Clint Martin has been with him from the beginning.
Did you see natural talent in him when you saw him at 12?
No, not of them. Some of them may show a little talent, but he didn't show anything. He just kept coming back, stayed in the gym.
Also helping out in Stoudemire's corner, former heavyweight champion Jimmy Ellis. His pro debut comes tomorrow night at the Masonic Auditorium. There he'll take on Mike Sacchetti of West Virginia, who owns a 3-1 record. Scott Clark, Action 3 Sports.
It'll be an interesting story.
Yes, you stay with us, Joe, because Mona's going to tell you what pierced ears will do for your eyes.
Oh, really?
And Doug says there's no reason for your not winning the lottery number.
I said that.
That's what you said.
In the Ohio lottery tonight, the state cleared $296,000, and that was your key to winning, the 296, because the winning combination was 629. All you had to do was box those numbers. It is so easy if you can just figure out the system.
Well, I've been working on figuring out something tonight to help you with your nearsighted eyes.
Oh.
Maybe yours, too. If you don't mind wearing a little jewelry, pierced earrings, I mean. Pirates used to wear those gold earrings for more than decoration. You see, they believed that pierced ears would improve their eyesight. Modern acupuncturists note that the spot where most ears are pierced is the acupuncture point controlling the eyes. That makes sense. We'll have to get you a pair of pierced
I
earrings.
could try those. I'd only have to wear them in the car because that's the only place I need the glasses.
Well, if you didn't wear your contact lenses here, and you just wear it in one ear, just your worst,
just one ear.
worst eye.
Oh, get rid of these. Right. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.
News Hawk 3 coverage is brought to you by the Illuminating Company and Ohio Edison, helping to keep you informed.